We are family. I know you hear me now. Up from heaven. Come on.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the Cheron Moore Show. As you know, I'm your host, Cheron Moore. Today. Whoa, I didn't make the rounds today, boy. I didn't make the rounds. We didn't went into the archives, y'all. We pulled out somebody, I tell you. If it wasn't for this guy right here, a whole bunch of us wouldn't have worked. Boy. We'd have been sitting around twiddling our thumbs, man. You all know him. You all love him. You all know him. Tell you a little bit about him. He's actually known as a bassist, a bass player. But I found out he plays piano, he plays drums. I'm glad he never sat in when I was playing. I never thought about asking you to sit in on that. But so I said, bassist, piano, plays drums, excellent vocals, songwriter. He's an educator. I can actually call him an agent too, because he's an agent, and he's also a minister. Will you help me welcome my guest today, a dear friend for many years? I'm so glad he came to the show, Leroy Ball. Hey, Leroy.
Hey, Cheron. Cheron, the man.
Welcome to the Cheron Moore Show. Let's go all the way back. Are you from Los Angeles originally?
No. We're from Chicago.
You actually come from a musical family, though, huh?
Yeah, my brother Larry Ball and my brother Louis Ball. Yes. And my parents, my mother was one of the singers with Mahalia Jackson, and my father was a guitar player. I didn't find that out until I got 50 years old. And then all my sisters and brothers, they were singers, you know. Matter of fact, we have a family video out now from our CD, We Are a Family of Love, which you can look on YouTube. It's on YouTube now.
Wow. So
yeah, the entire family. I mean, my cousins and my nieces, nephews, my children, grandchildren, you know, everybody is on this.
Wow. So what was it like when you was coming up as a little boy and seeing your parents and all the music in the house? What was that like?
Well, I've been playing since I was a little boy. I started in grammar school in 5th grade. We had a talent show, and my brothers, they came and played, and I got on the drums. First time I even sat on the drums, but I knew how to play them for some reason. And I sat down and we played, and turned out to be real good. I've been playing ever since.
How did you move over to the bass?
When I moved to Los Angeles, I was playing drums a lot when I moved there. And I have a rare arthritis in my right arm, and playing the drums caused it to flare up. So I just picked up the bass and just kept on going.
Had you started playing piano then too?
Yes, I was writing songs and everything on piano. I used to go to church and just practice on the organ all day long. Matter of fact, I can play anything that I pick up. I find I just have that natural ability of learning things, you know, when I touch it.
What do you think that comes from? Was it your parents? Is it just DNA? What is it?
No, I think it's just a God gift.
Wow. Come on, brother.
You know, I think God just gave me that ability and it's not only with instrument, it's with everything. Yeah.
Wow. Take me to high school. What was the scene like in high school, musically?
High school was fun, but we had a band, boy. The Dunbar. Oh man, I went to Dunbar High School in Chicago, boy. We had, of course, my sister and my brother Larry. My sister Doris and my brother Larry. They went to Dunbar too. Larry had left the year I came in, and my sister Doris was there, so we both played with Dunbar High School band.
After high school. Well, let's stay in high school. What were some of your influences that you were listening to help to shape you?
You know, it was so strange. At the high school, I started working with this guy named Willie Clayton. He had a lot of hits out, a lot of the blues stuff, Otis Clay, and Tyrone Davis, all of those cats back in Chicago. I just got on that circuit, and there was a DJ, Purvis Spann. He was Willie Clayton's manager, and so Purvis Spann promoted all the concerts that came to Chicago. Earth, Wind and Fire, Isley Brothers, Shaka Khan, all of them, and my band was the opening act for all of those events, and it was all concerts. So right out of high school, I went into doing concerts, and that's all I did. It was
Were you
weird.
playing drums then?
No, I was playing keyboard.
Like, oh boy, he's playing keyboards.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this about me. I was playing keyboard then.
So you was a
Yeah,
professional keyboard player before you was a professional drummer.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That messed
Yeah.
up all of my notes. A bunch of bass stuff here. What was the thoughts that started to bring you towards LA?
Well, my brother Larry, he was conducting a show called The Wiz then. And he was the musical conductor, and he went out and he said, well, y'all come on out. Me and my brother Lewis came out, and Lewis got the job playing piano, and I was doing little things. I never joined the show per se, but I knew the show. If they would have gave me the bass and say, hey, play the show, I would have been able to play it. Yeah. So, I did that for a little while, and then I just, toured around LA doing jazz clubs and pop clubs. And so, I just did that for a while. We was working out at Disneyland. I did a lot of that type of stuff. And then I decided to form my own band. And that's when I started doing the bands, and I hooked up with Susan DuBois and people like that. I was with this band Crossroad, who everybody know we was doing the Seinfeld show, Roseanne, the single guy. We was the warm-up band for those TV shows.
Tell me about how do you spell that Do Got Band? How do you spell that? I got Do Got Band.
Yeah, that's how it was spelled. It's Do, D-O, hyphen G-O-T, Do Got Band.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I thought you had a different stuff.
Well, when I signed with Quincy Jones, he changed it to Dude Got Band.
Oh.
See, he changed it to D-U Got Band.
Got it.
And so
go ahead, finish that up.
I had to copyright both names.
I'm gonna come back to Quincy Jones because I remember you writing some great music during that time. But I want to ask you about, how did you get into that agency thing?
That came when I started working at this club called the Nucleus Nuance.
Remember that?
And that's how I knew Susan DuBois before then, when she was at this club called the Alley Cats, when she was doing that club, because I did some things there with Ron Coleman, and some other people I had worked there with. And so that's how I got locked into being with the agencies. Then after I met Susan DuBois and the band was doing so well, it was just this natural talent of doing things. And what I started doing when I would do these casuals for these agencies, I wouldn't let the band stop for at least about a half an hour. We just go from song to song like a DJ would do, because I know that's what keeps people on the dance floor. And so I was known for doing that. And so I just got calls a lot. My name just blew up. Everybody wanted Leroy Ball and the Do Got Band,
Before I get to you being the minister, are you at liberty to give us your testimony about how all that fell?
Oh, man. Well, before I left LA, people didn't know that I had disappeared then. What happened was I went through a bad divorce with my wife, and it kind of it tore my heart up. And what happened was I ended up homeless. I ended up on the street smoking crack cocaine. I was being arrested, put in jail and stuff, and people in jail was looking at me and saying, "Oh man, this just don't look like you belong here. Why are you even in here?" And I went through really bad things with the drug, with that crack cocaine. And so I was smoking this crack, man, so bad. One night, December the 24th, 2007, I couldn't do it no more. I was seeing spirits, evil spirits, and it brought me out of that. It woke me up. My mother had passed away and everything, and I was walking down this dark tunnel right across the street from Universal Studio. There's a tunnel that goes underneath the street, no lights. It was just me, that tunnel, and my crack pipe, and those spirits. And I walked through there, man, and I just started crying, Cheron. And I said, "This is not me. This all the stuff that I have done. Look where it have got me." And I owed all kinds of people money, and I was robbed a lot. I was going to a gig and got stuck up gunpoint, and I said, "Man, this I can't. I got to get away from this life." So anyway, I went through that tunnel, man. When I got through that tunnel, I got on the bus and went back to Peter's house. And I stayed up all night long, and I called Peter. He was in his room sleep. I called him. I said, "Man, I got to leave here." He said, "Well, where you going to go?" I said, "Well, God told me to come to Las Vegas." And that's what I did. That's what broke the ice to where I'm at right now. And now I'm blessed. I'm so blessed now that I realized, that my calling was really in the ministry, but God would take you through something to get you where you're supposed to be.
I know there was one time, and I was a recipient of this. I didn't expect this neither, but you actually called a lot of people back and said, I'm sorry, huh?"
Yes, I did. I had to. I had to, because that was in my heart, to apologize to all the people that I owe money to and stuff. And then I prayed to God to bless them, because He knew that it wasn't their fault, but it was my fault. So I prayed to Him to bless them, in their finances and in their health and stuff like that. So all the people that I just went off, because I got very arrogant too, and those things you have to really watch when you moving up, because sometimes you move up too fast and you just lose control. And so I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to be able to even to have done that, to apologize to those people.
In those days, how were you able to keep your head in so many places? Bass, uh, leading the band, the business, you calling the bride in, all these many things.
It was hard. Matter of fact, what one thing I had to do, and this really helped me out tremendously, I had to stop working at so many nightclubs. I had to give the nightclubs up, because it was best to meet with the clients. And that's how I got the casual business going. After that, that's when my ministry started, Cheron. That's when I started serving the God. I love my pastor too, boy. And so yeah, so I love the business, but I even love it more what I'm doing now, and that's serving God and playing the organ. Well, that B3, boy, ooh, I love that B3. I love that B3.
Before I let you
Yeah.
go, I want to ask you just one or two more questions. And this one I usually ask at the end of the show, the guests. Leroy, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want your legacy to be said, to be played out?
You know, I really just would like for people to look and say, well, that was a man of God. He loved God, and I know he's in heaven right now. That's all I want. So that's how important serving God is to me. You know, everybody might not agree in the way I had done stuff in the past and stuff like that. But like I say, my apologies to you if I hurted you in any type of way. And I just, I just appreciate everybody that came through and helped me out when I was doing everything that I did. I really appreciated everyone because to me, they was great. You know, they was the great ones. And a lot of them they had Christ in their heart, so that was important to me as well. So that's mostly what's important to me, that people just know that this cat, he was the real deal. He was the one who set the record straight at 63 years old. you know so I just had a birthday this month, turned 63, and those are thank you, those are a lot of years of doing stuff, although for the last 40, 45 years is all my work has been in church. Well, for the last 25 years, my work has been just in church, and people don't know what happened to Leroy Ball. Everybody, what happened to Leroy Ball? Is he dead or alive? Yeah, I'm still here, but I'm working in church, and that's what I want to be known as, the man that loved God so much that he just served him to the day he brought him home. Yeah.
Leroy, let me say thank you so very much for that.
Oh,
But
thank you, Cheron.
I can't let you go without one thing though. If I
Yeah.
may ask or request that you do a couple of bars of Wonderful World, I gotta ask. Can't let you go.
um, I hear babies crying. I watch them grow. They learn much more, yes, than I would ever know. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yes. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yes. Yeah. That's the
Woo!
tune. I love that tune. That tune is very spiritual. I can imagine what that cat, Louis Armstrong. Whew, I loved him.
People just
But
got
then,
to hear you sing that night in and night out, Leroy. Leroy, let me tell you, thank you so very much for being on the
oh,
Cheron
you're
Moore
welcome,
Show. I know
Cheron.
you're pressed for time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got pick up my sister, take her to church, and then I got to go to church.
Well, say
I
a
tell you,
prayer for me in there.
you got it.
Leroy, once again, thank you so very much for being on the Cheron Moore Show.
Thank you, Cheron, for having me. I really appreciate it, man. And we can do it again. Let's do
Woo!
it.
Don't you say that. Hey, would you help me wave goodbye to all of the fans?
Oh yeah, bye everybody. See you guys.
Thank you
Yeah.
again, Leroy.
All right, Cheron.
Once there was a sharecropper named Philip Hunt in Greenville, Mississippi, who had 22 sons and daughters. His descendants migrated to the north, east, and west to escape the oppression of the South. Now they come together to show the world what God's love looks like. We are a family of love.
Come on, family. Let's get ready to sing about God's love. We want to let the world know that God is still real and still alive and still moving in our lives today. Come on, family.
We come together from coast to coast,
Come on, family.
spreading our love through the Holy Ghost.
All about God's
By
love.
the grace of God, we are a family, singing praises to His name, all in harmony. Sisters, brothers, fathers, daughters, together we stand, divided we fall.
We're singing praises.
Prayer is a key that keeps us all safe.
Come on.
We are a family of love. God sent from heaven above. We want the whole world to
And
know
divided. Come on.
our love is real. We are a family of love. We come together from coast to coast, spreading our love through the whole
We want to spread this love around the world.
grace of God. We are a family, singing praises to His name, all in harmony.
Here we go.
Sisters, brothers,
Oh, we're spreading.
together we stand, divided we fall. Prayer is a key that keeps us all safe.
Come on, talk about
We
love.
are a family of love. God sent from heaven above. We want the whole world to know our love is real. We are a family of love.
Hey, what's up, fam? It's time to spread a little love, the kind of love that one can only dream of. Beautiful faces, yeah, we're all so elated coming together. This has been long awaited. The love we have is like a picture, perfectly painted. Come on, fam. Yeah, we're trying to make a statement. Let's rise and shine. Let's all get acquainted. When this song is done, we'll all be awakened. It's a family of love.
Family of love. God sent from heaven above. We want the whole world to know our love is real. We are a family of love.
Yes, we are.
We are a family of love.
Come on, family. We're talking about God's love.
Heaven above.
We want the whole world to know that God,
Want the whole world to know
He's real and alive.
our love is real. We are a family of love.
Come on, sing it, children.
We are a family of love.
Oh, even through the babies.
God sent from heaven above.
We want everybody to know.
We want the whole world to know our love is real. Our love is real.
Come on, we are
Love is real.
God
We
sent from
are a
heaven.
family of love.
All we got to tell the world that God's still real and God is still alive.
I wouldn't trade my family for $1 million or 6 for Impala. Thank a higher father for keeping us together. My grandma, my love is gonna last forever. And mama, I appreciate you. And I thank you for my brothers and sisters. I never worry, so I'm never in a hurry. Got time for all y'all. Your crazy cousin Cheron's ball. Down on my knees, thanking Jesus for my family. You owe it to your mom and checking with her daily.
We are a family.
We are family. I know you hear me now. Up from heaven, come on now. We want the whole world to know our love is real. We are a family of love. Can't you feel it vibrate when you
We are a family of love.
We are a family of love.
Oh, even through the babies. We won't